knowledge that is not applied is theory. So every knowledge that we apply, that we are being taught, that we are exposed to, we need to put it into practice to begin to reap the dividends, the profits of that knowledge. Today, I just want to share briefly about maintaining a teachable spirit. You need to maintain a teachable spirit. Why teachable spirit? You see, our attitude to life determines life attitude towards us. You know, one of my mentors was speaking one time, I think about a year or two ago. He said, when you throw the tennis ball to the wall, it will return back to you. And that is it. Whatever we throw out there, that is what life returns back to us. And that is why I said our attitude to life determines life attitude towards us. You know, if you want life to be sweet, which it can be, if you want life to be wonderful, which it has to be, supposed to be, all we need to do is to maintain a very meek and teachable spirit. You know, there are two men in the Bible that I love their story. Their story you find from 1 Samuel, from chapter 5 or so, if you begin to read it. The first man there was Saul. Saul was handpicked by God to fulfill a destiny. And David was also handpicked by God to fulfill a destiny. But the former missed it because of pride and arrogance and pointing of fingers. And that is the same thing we have in this world today. It's my daddy's fault. It's my mommy. They didn't support me enough. I didn't get the help of the family that I needed. My school was not good. I made those complaints years ago. I was there in your shoe. If you are there now, or if you used to be there, thank God for your life. I used to make those excuses also. I blame everybody, but not myself. I will never blame myself. Everybody was the one that is at fault. I was right. Until I begin to study and knew that, and begin to understand that the way we lay our bed, that is the way we lie on it. That's a fact about life. You know, Saul missed it because when he was being called to give account of his action, he always have this tendency of saying it was the people's fault. I don't know, maybe when you look at your job, you are not happy with it. It's your boss' fault. I used to be like that. It's your co-worker fault. I'm not saying that sometimes it's not their fault. It could be. But every time we are shifting the blame to others, we are giving them right over our lives. But every time we take the responsibility, then we have the power to either do something about it, we have the power to do something about it, or the power to change the situation entirely. So, the later, which is David, when he was being questioned about his action, the Bible says David rent his garments. He rent not just a garment, he tore his heart apart and pleaded for the mercy of God. And then the later went on to live a very fulfilling life. David went on to live a very fulfilling life, while Saul died in frustration. You see, teachable spirit will endow you with the grace to forge ahead because you have a heart that accepts correction. While pride will make God, life in general, to stop us from moving forward. The law of seed time and harvest will work against anybody that is proud, just as the law of harvest will work in favor of anyone that have a teachable and a meek spirit. The Bible says that Moses was the meekest man on earth. I think that is Numbers chapter 12, verse 3. Moses was the meekest man on earth. And then in Exodus chapter 11, verses 3, Moses was very great. So for you to be great, you have to be meek. For you to be endowed, empowered with grace, you have to have a teachable spirit. You see, we are living in a world that they don't want anybody to correct them. And for you to fly high, you must have an instructor. In driving, you have a teacher. And you can decide to do what the teacher says or not. It's a choice because he's a teacher. But if you want to fly, according to my little knowledge about aircraft, if you want to fly, your opinion is irrelevant. You have to do what the instructor say. When he say press the green button, you press it to go up, or you go down, or you crash. The same thing, if we have to fly high in life, we must possess a meek and a teachable spirit. We must be able to accept correction and love it, and know that the ones that are correcting us, they mean it for good. What am I saying? I don't know where you are today. I want you to think about where you could have been if you have listened to that instruction that came from a very faithful friend of yours. If you have obeyed that advice, if you have taken that advice that your mentor, your pastor spoke. So what are you doing today? Will you please just take time and listen to the advice of your mentors? Those that love you will be able to look at you in the face and tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Listening to them is for your own good. Pay attention to what they are saying. It's going to help you in the future. I have 3 keys that I want to give you here. If you want to go higher in life, you want to fly, you want to get to the top, you must be able to accept reproof, rebuke for the work you did that is not up to the person's expectation. Receive it with a good heart. Everyone that say what you did was good, but you could do enough. He knew that there is seed, there is potential in you that you are yet to manifest. I love when my fathers and my friends and my mentors look at me and say, Solomon, you are doing well, but this is an area that you can still develop on. Be ready to take reproof. Be ready to take rebuke. Admonishment, whether it's positively or negatively, be ready to take it. I was in a meeting one time and I was sharing, and a young guy came in and I gave him a form to fill. And after filling the form, at the back of the form, I said, please give us your feedback. And the guy gave a feedback and said, what you are doing is better to also have it both on English and on German. And that changed the face of my presentation. So every presentation I have it both in English and in German. It improved my life. And when the guy came over some other time and I saw him, I told him in the midst of the multitude that was sitting there, I said, you know, your feedback have really helped me and it has helped me to grow. This is the result of your feedback, of your reproof, of your whatever you might call it, you know, your admonishment. The guy was very happy. And after the meeting, I went back to him. I said, what do you think I can do better? Because I don't want to just lead colored people. I want to lead all kind of people that comes my way. And then the guy sat down on my computer and began to show me some programs and some things that I would do. Guess what? From nowhere, I've never known him. But because I was ready to learn, because I maintain a teachable spirit every time. When you come around me, it's always, what can I learn from you? Who do you know that I should know? What are you doing that is awesome, is working for you? How can I learn it? That is my life. And that was brought me to where I am today. You see, when I shared my story, the drama of a mom, the curiosity of a child, and the misfortune of a wife, and the clay for knowledge. That's what brought me here. When I share that story, people love it. I hope I can share it with you one of these days. You see, it is drama that brought me where I am. And the curiosity of a child. I just wanted to know, why is things like this? How can we make this better? I mean, that's the teachable spirit, the crave for knowledge. Number 2, receive instructions from others. Receive instructions. Without instructions, you can't go far. You need to receive instructions. Instructions, receiving it, mean your opinion is irrelevant. You might have a good opinion, but remember the instructor and the flight student. The instructor tell him or her what to do. The student is to obey or he crash. In the school of aviation, So we must listen to instruction, especially godly counsel. Listen, especially godly counsel. Surround yourself with friends. I've always shared it in my video. If you have not, go to one of my videos there. Surround your friends, self with friends, mentors, pastors, maybe member of the family that you know they can help you in the direction that you are going. Number 3, as I close, teachable spirit is a requirement that you must fulfill. For you to go high, it is required that you have a teachable spirit. And for you to stay on top, it is required that you keep on developing that same teachable spirit. I'll see you on the top. See you on my next video. I love you. God bless you. Have a pleasant evening. My name again is Solomon S.Imafidon. Thank you. Bye.